Well, hello all. It's the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July. And you know what that means? Because you know how many countries have a 4th of July? Every country on earth. Every single one of them. That's why it's not celebrated. Oh, hey, the cat's here. That's why it's not celebrating the 4th of July. It's celebrating Independence Day. Am I celebrating? No, I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video. Yes, I am. And I'm also watching a little bit of a mini-series. Topo Chico, cheers to you and cheers to me. This cat's gonna come in here. He's gonna mess it all up. Pull the mic up. So if you see a tail wagging in front of the camera, that's Patriotic Sullivan. So there we go. There we go. All right, sit down, and shut up. Stop rubbing on stuff. You're getting out. Look, there you go. See the camera moving? He's gonna knock it down. He's gonna knock it down. Anyway, yeah, play with the bottle cap. So, like I said, we celebrate Independence Day. And, I'm gonna barbecue later. My son had to work, so I don't have a huge social network. I got my little social network of things that I do, but, not enough to actually go over to someone's house and, barbecue or whatever. So we don't have any fireworks. We get some party snaps. We do have one big, bomb that we'll go over there. Sit down. There you go. Or I was about to throw you out. Anyway, so we celebrate Independence Day, and as I was saying, I've been watching this. I started watching it yesterday. John Adams. This is an HBO 7-part miniseries. It's fantastic watch. Fantastic watch. Did you know that John Adams actually wanted Independence Day to be July 2nd? And Thomas Jefferson was like, no, it's going to be July 4th. Because I think he was checking weather patterns. And I think on the day that they read the Declaration of Independence in Philadelphia in front of Independence Hall, it was like 83 degrees. Wow, 83 degrees, 248 years ago. Climate change, huh? Way out of whack, isn't it? I think it's like 80 degrees today. Anyway, just aggressive. So, like I said, I'm gonna watch that miniseries again. It's just a good watch. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. But yeah. So Jefferson and Adams went back and forth on the day. They became rivals. That was very contentious between them. The date that it was read, the date that it was declared. And you know why? They actually just had enough with the British Empire and the Crown and all that. Well, there was a couple of incidences in Boston with, and it was occupied territory. Like the British soldiers were just scum, just scum. New World Order scum back then. And there was that, and then there was the tax. Remember the Boston Tea Party? There was the tax. You know how much the tax was that people were bugging out on? 3%. 3%. What are we at today? It all depends on how much you make. I don't know. You get a bonus at work. That's 40%, and then you got to pay taxes on it. Then it's 40% if you get a bonus at work. Yeah. So go figure. And like I said, the taxes today and the street, and how many people that were residing in the 13 colonies, how many people took up in arms? Once again, 3%. 3% of the people said, we've had enough of this. We've had enough of your 3% tax, you tyrannical, maniacal scum. And well, look where we are today. Look where we are today. Imagine 3%. People would be doing cartwheels if they had 3% tax. But they never envisioned a government like this. They never envisioned a government like this. So I got some chicken marinating and some steaks. So I'll make that when my son gets home from work. I'll watch this during the day. It feels like a Sunday. Doesn't it feel like a Sunday? To me, it does. But I want to have you. Somebody else is coming in here. Melly, what are you doing? The dog's in here. Anyway, Sullivan is gonna go start a fight with him. Anyway, it's like a squirrel. Anyway, so I'm not gonna ramble on too long. I got a couple of clips I want to show you. Hold on. I'm back. Yeah, like I said, our founding fathers, they never had any idea or inclination that this monstrosity of a Hydra government would evolve from their limited government. And it's just a disaster, you know? And I want you to listen because, you know, there's so much going on with JoJo Magoo, you know, he should step down, and they want to bring in Camel Toe Harris, and it's just, really? Okay. Ooh. Anyway, so I want you to hear, this is so indicative of who is running our government today. This is Patrick Clausen, and he's part of the Washington Institute for Near Far East Policy, I think. And it's a think tank. It's one of these NGO think tanks. That's who runs the government. It's not Joe. It's like the think tanks, the foreign agencies, the intelligence agencies, these unelected bureaucrats, the deep state, the shadow government, the swamp. Anyway, so listen to it.
Crisis initiation is really tough, and it's very hard for me to see how the United States president can get us to war with Iran. Which leads me to conclude that if, in fact, compromise is not coming, that the traditional way of America gets to war is what would be best for U.S. interests. Some people might think that Mr. Roosevelt wanted to get us into World War II, as David mentioned. You may recall we had to wait for Pearl Harbor. Some people might think Mr. Wilson wanted to get us into World War I. You may recall he had to wait for the Lusitania episode. Some people might think that Mr. Johnson wanted to send troops to Vietnam. You may recall we had to wait for the Gulf of Tonkin episode. We didn't go to war with Spain until the until the Maine exploded. And may I point out that Mr. Lincoln did not feel he could call out the Federal Army until Fort Sumter was attacked, which is why he ordered the commander at Fort Sumter to do exactly that thing which the South Carolinians had said would cause an attack. So if, in fact, the Iranians aren't going to compromise, it would be best if somebody else started the war.
Yep. Yeah, did you hear that we, you know, starting wars. Well, look at all the things he listed to start wars. And that clip, I think, was from 2012, I believe. So we need to start wars, especially with Iran. They've been going after Iran for a long time. If you deep dive into what's going on in our government, it's just so disheartening. That's why you just got to do what you got to do. You got to go out and have some chicken thighs and steak, have a Topo Chico, blow off some fireworks, blow off some steam, man. But with that, I'm gonna leave you with another beautiful montage of beautiful wisdom by one of our potential presidential candidates.
That's why we're here today. Because we have the ability to see what can be, unburdened by what has been, and then to make the possible actually happen.
You have to believe in what can be, unburdened by what has been. What can be, unburdened by what has been. To see what can be, unburdened by what has been. We see what can be, unburdened by what has been.
Bring people to see what can be, unburdened by what has been.
See what can be, unburdened by what has been.
It is the ability to see what can be, unburdened by what has been.
Yeah, I bet our founding fathers didn't see that coming. From we to people to whatever she's babbling about being unburdened by what has been. Did you ever see a more cackling idiot? And she was never popular to begin with. I think she dropped out of the original race for presidency because she had like 1%. Now she has the potential to be president. What? It's crazy, man. But anyway, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Go barbecue. Spend some time with fam. It's wonderful out. It's a beautiful day out. It's a beautiful day out. When I was out, I was driving around. I was listening to some Marillion. I don't know if you know who Marillion is. Good stuff, man. And I had the windows down. The hair was blowing. Music was crying to go into the store to get some steaks on sale. That's what I do on Sundays. So today kind of felt like a Sunday. Also stopped at Barnes & Noble, picked up a couple of movies because they had the Criterion Collection 50% off, and I had $20 worth of points. So I pretty much got a free movie. Anyway, I got an Alex Cox movie and a Donald Sutherland movie. Anyway, maybe I'll talk about that at some other point. But anyway, I wish everybody a wonderful day. And remember, it's Independence Day. It's Independence Day. And as Alex Jones would say, the answer to 1984 is 1776. Bye-bye. Love yous all.